Creatures of the Night, it is Thursday, so you know what that means, Ring of Honor. We had a really great episode tonight, and obviously because the pay-per-view is a week away, they want to give us the best that they can possibly give us, because obviously we didn't really have any matches but one on this card before today. Now, we started off with Billie Starkz versus Danny Moe. This was a squash match, like literally 2 minutes tops and it was over. I do not believe in the squash match business for an opener. That is just not the way to go when you're opening your show. However, they just sort of made up for this. Now, when Billie Starkz takes the win, she is celebrating, but the celebrations don't last long because our girl, our champion, Athena comes into the ring and put a stop to it. And they have been just fighting all around the ring. We have the referees. We have top flight security guards out there trying to keep these girls away from each other. And they can barely do that. And you know what? I'm okay with that. I don't mind seeing a good old-fashioned beat down. Now, these two girls are really giving it to each other. And even Billie Starkz is like, you know what? You had me under your wing under this minion training thing. I learned a lot from you. So bring it on, bitch. Now, these two girls are going at it. And I'm absolutely loving it. And it just goes to show that Tony Khan can put a nice little storyline together for us to be, entertained with. And they've been actually doing a really great job at this. Now, the referees, the useless security guards can't keep these girls away from each other. So Athena ends up rolling Billie Starkz into the ring and she lays her women's title on the mat and hits Billie Stark's own finisher on her ass onto the title. And then she takes her title, raises it up in the air, and our champion is looking amazing going into this final battle pay-per-view. Is this like trying to show us that, yeah, she's on top right now, but at the pay-per-view she's gonna lose against Billie Starkz? No, I don't think that's gonna be the case. She's definitely gonna retain. Now, later on, they do confirm that Athena and Billie Starkz will be the main event at Final Battle pay-per-view, and rightfully so. This will be the second time that Athena would be main eventing the pay-per-view this year. The last pay-per-view, she was also in the main event with Willow Nightingale, and that match was superb, and I loved it. And this time, I'm hoping for the same thing too. Now, Billie Starkz has a lot to learn. I think she's only 18 years old, and sometimes I feel like she's not necessarily ready, but I do think that Athena's going to guide her throughout this match, and it's going to turn out to be a slobber knocker. And I hope that we get a really, really great pay-per-view overall, not just the main event, because Tony Khan likes to put shit last minute. But anyway, let's talk about what happened on the rest of the show. I didn't care too much for this little squash match, but the beatdown is on point. So up next, we have Wheeler Yuta. He had a pure title sitting on his shoulder, pretty and everything. And I'm just like, oh, he's going to announce who he's going to face at the pay-per-view. And he's probably going to say Hook. But then I noticed Bryan Danielson with an eye patch is standing right next to him. And I'm like, okay, Bryan, I don't know what you're here for, but Wheeler Yuta does not need parental guidance at this point. Now, here is Bryan Danielson letting us know that the last time he was at a Final Battle pay-per-view, he was against Jay Briscoe. For the first and only time in his whole career, he faced him one-on-one. Now, that was 20 years ago. Now, here we are, fast forward 2023. He's saying that last year, Jay Briscoe was a part of one of the best matches in Ring of Honor history, the dog collar match with FTR, and I agree. That was one of my top 5 matches from 2022 last year. It was amazing. Now he goes and say, in honor of Jay Briscoe, Wheeler Yuta and I are going to team up against the FTR and, to pay homage to Jay Briscoe. And I'm just like, wait, what? Who? You guys, why? Look. The idea is not bad. It's not bad. But Bryan has a Continental Classic that he's doing. His limbs are hardly holding on by thread. He's just doing the absolute most right now. And I was not expecting this to be the case. Like, I get it. You guys want to do something in the memory of Jay Briscoe, but it's just like, Jesus Christ, Bryan Danielson, what else are you going to be part of? And you talking about on behalf of BCC. It could have been Wheeler and Moxley. It could have been Wheeler and Claudio. It didn't have to be you, Bryan. Whatever. I'm not going to sit here and sound like a hater. It just seems like he's doing too much right now. And honestly, we also still have the pure title that will not be on the line. What are we doing here, Tony Khan? None of these titles but one is going to be on the line for the whole pay-per-view. I'm not digging it. Either way, FTR versus Bryan Danielson and Wheeler Yuta, it's going to be great. I know it's going to be great, but whatever. So now we have Johnny Nitro, Johnny TV, Johnny Mundo, whatever that he's calling himself nowadays, versus Dalton Castle. Now, these two have a decent match. We haven't seen Johnny in quite some time. He actually had his theme music. It's the whole the QTV business thing, and we know that's done and over with at this point. So it is what it is. It was filmed last week. Whatever. Now, the match is decent. We have the boys ringside who are helping Dalton. They're not getting physical with Johnny, but they're helping Dalton. Like if he falls, they'll pick him up, bring it back into the ring. Whenever he's in distress, they'll just tend to him or whatever. And Johnny's like, this is cheating. They should not be doing this. Is it cheating? Not really. Okay, not really. Now, here comes Taya Valkyrie out of the blue, just coming from the back, and she attacked the boys because the boys are just getting a little too involved into this match. And I'm just like, whoa, that is very peculiar. Now, with that distraction, Dalton almost loses this match. However, here comes, out of all people, Kiera Hogan to attack Taya Valkyrie to make sure that her ass don't get involved into this match either. And I'm just like, okay, that's a little bit weird, but whatever. Now with that distraction, here comes Dalton Castle going for the win, and he wins the match. Great, lovely. Now the whole Taya and Kiera thing is a little bit random, but I wouldn't mind seeing something like this maybe next week on Ring of Honor or even at the pay-per-view, because it's two girls that we have not seen in the ring together, so whatever. It might be a cool matchup. Now, later on, Johnny and Dalton have like a little promo where they're sitting there talking about TV shows and all this stuff. Really weird, whatever, don't care. Now, after this, we have Nikki Victory versus Rachel Ellering. She has Maria and Layla Hirsch ringside, and I'm not gonna lie, that storyline is starting to get stale to me. I don't even know what's happening at this point. I don't know what's going to happen moving forward here. It's not even really that interesting. I don't even know what Maria is doing with these girls. It is what it is. Now, Rachel has a quick match with Nikki. Nothing special here. But later on, we do have Layla who speaks with both Maria and Rachel. During that match, Maria actually grabs Rachel's leg, almost costing her the match. And they're asking her, like, bitch, what the fuck was that about? And she's like, oh no, I was trying to help you. I thought I was grabbing Nikki's leg. And I'm just like, right, there's a clear difference between the two of them, but okay, whatever. Now Maria leaves, and Layla tells Rachel that no matter what, she's gonna have her back since she sees that she's always had her back. So they should just be friends, whatever. Cool, I don't know. Now, we do have Lexi and Athena backstage, and Athena goes to Lexi and she says, Lexi, did you like that beatdown I put on Billy Starks earlier today? Now, Lexi looks scared as shit to answer, and it looks like she wants to say no, but she knows better. She knows to just agree with whatever the hell Athena is saying, so she agrees and said yes, that she enjoyed it. Now, this is where Athena did confirm that her match with Billy Starks will be in the main event, and she also states that Lexi will be the special guest ring announcer for that match, and that's going to be pretty interesting because Lexi's definitely going to have to stay ringside, and it makes me feel like perhaps Lexi may get involved in this match, and if that happens, I wonder whose side she's going to be in. I think that's going to be a lot of drama for this match, but I'll take it because I'd like to see what's going to happen with this whole minion thing moving forward after the pay-per-view. Now, after that, we do have a really great tag team match with the Infantry and the Workhorsemen, and I really like both of these teams. They're super talented, and while I'm enjoying this match, I'm just like, man, it is absolutely shameful that the Ring of Honor tag titles will not be on the line at this pay-per-view. Obviously, MJF got his head bashed in last night by one of those devil mask people, and he's not gonna make it to the pay-per-view. So it is what it is, and it's just like, this is a waste of time. There's a lot of great tag teams in Ring of Honor that has improved, and none of these bitches are gonna get the gold anytime soon because MJF is parading around with it, and Adam Cole got the other half of the titles at home with his leg fucked up. I just don't like that. That does not sit right with me. After a really great match, the Workhorsemen take the win here, but it's just like, damn, what's going to happen with the tag division? Now after this, we have another great tag match, the Renegades versus Trish Adora and Lady Frost. I was kind of surprised about this because I don't remember ever seeing Lady Frost and Trish Adora tagging before, but they had great chemistry with each other. Obviously, the Renegades, they've been tagging since birth, so they have perfect chemistry with each other in the ring, and I really did enjoy this. There's not enough tag teams with the women for there to be tag titles. Because I remember the Renegades mentioned something about if there were women's tag titles in Ring of Honor, that they would be champions. That would be cool. I could totally see them having those titles. But there's just not enough girls or, teams to make something like that happen. But I did enjoy this match. And I do feel like we do see improvement with the girls when they don't put them in squash matches. When they give them like up to 5 to 10 minutes in the ring to do their thing, we actually get to see really decent matches with them. And I'm sick of them kind of using these girls just for a couple of minutes in the ring. Like when I say a couple, I literally mean like 2 to 3 minutes. I'm tired of that shit. Have a really great match with these girls. Lady Frost takes the win for her team with a beautiful moonsault. Lovely, lovely, lovely. All right, so you guys know we've been having the Survival of the Fittest qualifier matches. So far, we have Commander and we have Dalton Castle already going to be in this match. So we have 4 other people need to be qualified to get into this match after going there against your opponent, whatever. Now, here we have Lee Johnson and Josh Woods, okay? I was like, I don't even need to watch this, but Josh Woods is pretty, so I'm gonna watch. Now, I'm over here watching, and I'm just like, whoa, okay, Lee Johnson is actually putting some decent work up in here for once. I'll take it. Now, I honestly didn't really put too much thought into this match or whatever because I was like, Josh Woods is going to advance onto the match at the pay-per-view. Boy, I was fucking wrong. Josh Woods actually loses. And let me tell you my problem with this. Lee Johnson has had only won 4 matches, including this one, this entire year. Everything else, he's been washed up, mopped up, and everything all over the arena by everyone else. And a lot of his matches, in my opinion, no bueno for me. So here we have Josh Woods who's going into this match. He's actually 8-0 right now. Since whenever his last loss was, which was against Shibata for the pure title. That was an amazing match, by the way. I'm never gonna stop giving that match some props. Those two were lovely in that match. But anyway, he's had 8 wins since that match, and he's been looking really, really great in terms of what he's been doing in the ring. He's the technical beast, and he looks amazing every time he steps foot in the ring. How is he gonna lose against somebody like Lee Johnson? Like, I'm not even, no shade to Lee Johnson, but based off the track records, okay, in terms of the numbers of wins and losses and shit, and then between these two guys, Josh Woods have superior matches compared to Lee Johnson, and Lee Johnson is the one that advances on to be in the Survival of the Fittest match at the pay-per-view for the TV fucking title. Are you kidding me? I couldn't even believe this. I was not happy about it. But let me not go into the full-blown rant about it. Just as some things that's going on just doesn't make sense, and I don't like it. I don't like how they came down to the conclusion that Lee Johnson, of all people, should move on into this. Josh Woods should be in that match, and I'm not even trying to be biased. Now after this, we have the Righteous versus the Outrunners, and I like both of these teams. And the Outrunners, man, every time I see them, I think of 80s wrestling. They're just like to the T. Like everything that they do is absolutely 80s, and I love it. The Righteous, they're creepy, and I'm cool with creepy too. However, they lost a lot of momentum since losing that match against MJF at whatever pay-per-view that was. God knows, I can't remember. And they didn't win the tag titles. Now, another great tag match. I think it was a little bit on the short side for me, but once again, we're seeing a lot of these teams improving. We're seeing these teams picking up momentum. However, there's no gold for them to get. That right there is absolutely heartbreaking. I don't like it. So now we have another Survival of the Fittest qualifier match. We have Lee Moriarty versus Tracy Williams. I really love both of these guys. Both of these guys are so freaking awesome. They have a really great match, and it could have gone either way, but the truth is that we only see Tracy like once every 2 months or so. So it's not often enough for me. At least we don't see him often enough in Ring of Honor, but you can see him in other indie scenes or whatnot. Great match. However, Lee Moriarty winning it makes the most sense since we see him basically on a weekly basis, and he is absolutely amazing. So congrats to Lee Moriarty making it on the match for the TV title at the pay-per-view, unlike some people who shouldn't be on there, but it is what it is. Now after that, we do have the boys versus none other than the Butcher and the Blade. Do I even have to explain how this went? The boys obviously lost. So backstage, we have Lexi with Griff Garrison, Cole Carter, and Maria. Now, these boys, I haven't seen them in a couple of weeks, and they want to know what can they do to be a better tag team and end up winning some tag team gold. If anything, y'all not winning no tag team gold. It doesn't look like anyone in Ring of Honor will be winning tag team gold anytime soon. But I'll give credit where credit is due. Griff Garrison, he looked like he been hitting the gym. Not enough, but he looked like he's been in there. So you can see like his body, something's happening with it. Just give it like, I don't know, another year or so before we really see a big improvement in terms of how Griff Garrison looked. So whatever you're doing, Griff, keep going with it. You're looking much better. However, Maria's suggestion is that they should have a new theme song and that she should sing it. And if she starts singing this garbage ass song, and I'm just like, what the hell is this? Now, Cole Carter, he's a kiss ass, so he tells her that he likes it. Griff Garrison is so stunned, like me, can't even respond about what he thinks about this song. It's absolutely garbage. Up next, we had Christopher Daniels versus Angelico. We have Serpentico ringside. Now, this was a really great match. And, you know, Angelico's been a babyface ever since he started putting his eyes out on that world title that he was never going to win. Now, halfway through the match, out of the blue, here comes Angelico turning heel and Serpentico cheating in the match, trying to help his friend win the match. And I'm just like, oh, okay. This really changed. And obviously we have Ian and Caprice on commentary talking about, I've never seen this side of Angelico before. And I'm just like, wait a minute. Angelico been heel for quite some time before he became a babyface. What are you guys talking about? Now, obviously, Angelico ends up taking the win because he has his friend ringside to help him. And Christopher Daniel does feel some type of way since the two of them were basically, you know, it was a handicap match, if you ask me. So then Christopher ends up attacking those guys, obviously Angelico and Serpentico being upset. However, there's obviously 2 against 1, and the other team have an advantage. So who comes out to help Christopher Daniels? Orange Cassidy and Danhausen. So because these two are back there not doing anything, we're just going to throw them on Ring of Honor just to throw them on. It didn't really make sense to me, if you ask me. Now, they do help out Christopher, and Angelico and Serpentico end up leaving the ring. Now, while they're over there celebrating after Danhausen cursed Serpentico, here comes Angelico coming in and attacks Orange Cassidy from behind before he rolls out the ring and get his ass whooped by the rest of the guys in the ring. Was this random? Random as fuck, but it is what it is. They're just giving us something. Now let's talk about the good stuff. We have the contract signing with Ethan Page and Tony Nese, and we have the main event. Those were the best parts of the show after the Athena thing from earlier. All right, you guys. So remember when I said that we've obviously had 2 matches with Ethan Page and Tony Nese, and I was like, this third one better not be on the pay-per-view. Well, it is. It's going to be on the pay-per-view, and we have a contract signing for it. Now, here is Tony Khan already out there in the ring with a table and the chairs out there so they can sit down and be comfortable to sign their contracts. Tony Khan is making sure that there's no physicality between these 2 guys, and I'm just like, Tony, you of all people are not going to stop these 2 dudes from putting their hands on each other. You know, it is what it is. Now, Ethan Page, Tony Nese come out. Tony Nese comes out with his representative, Mark Sterling, and there's contracts to be signed. Now, Tony Nese and Mark Sterling states that this match is going to be an I Quit match. And Ethan Page had basically said that Mark Sterling needs to be handcuffed during this match to make sure that he does not get involved in this. So since Ethan Page had said that the other day, now their stipulation for this match is for it to be an I quit match. Obviously, the person who says I quit loses this match, and then they have to leave the other one alone forever. And I'm just like, okay, I'll take that. I don't want to see you guys in the ring again after this. Now, we have Mark Sterling, who is talking a lot of shit about Ethan Page and how they chose for this to be an I quit match because they know Ethan Page is nothing but a quitter and he's been quitting his whole fucking life. And they show pictures of him when he was fat as hell and pretty much not in the great shape that he is in right now, and talking about how he has had a lot of failures in his career, doing his little YouTube channel and all this stuff. So if anything, he's going to quit because that's all he knows what to do. Now, Ethan Page obviously not happy about what they are saying, and he cuts his promo too onto Tony Nese. Now, both of these guys, they're kind of looking fly, sitting there at the table, waiting to sign their contracts or whatever. And I'm like, okay, I'm digging that. Tony Khan is standing there like a robot or something. Like he doesn't even know what to do, standing there watching these two guys go at it on the mic or whatnot. Now, Ethan Page obviously upset, and he's like, you know what? After this match, we'll be done with each other. And he said, I hope you enjoy the spotlight. The only reason why the spotlight's been on you lately is because you're dealing with me. And once this match is over, the light's gonna be off of you, bitch. And then he signs the contract. Now, Tony Nese signs his contract too, and it seems like everything is done and over with. Tony Khan got better things to do, so he's ready to get the hell up out of the ring, and he's already leaving the ring. And then Tony Nese is like, before you go, let me give you some fitness advice. You guys know Tony Nese. He's always giving out this fitness advice and workouts and all this stuff. And then he goes, don't forget your protein. And I'm like, that's it? And then he blew a handful of protein powder onto Ethan Page's eyes, and Ethan is blinded. And then he put a beat down on Ethan Page and even gets him through a table. And I'm just like, whoa, I am digging this. Now, Tony Khan, he couldn't have been so far away by the time this actually happened. But like I said, Tony Khan's a busy man. He got other things to do. So if they fighting, they fighting. Whatever, as long as he's not in the way. I actually really did enjoy this moment. I'm seeing improvement with both of these guys, and that's what we want. Maybe some things about it is a little bit cheesy, but they're improving, and I'm totally fine with this. Now, we do have Ethan Page, who does have a match against Kenny Omega on Collision this Saturday, and Lord have mercy, all I want to do is see Kenny, but damn, what's going to happen with that match? I don't see Ethan Page winning, but this moment between him and Tony Nese was a pretty good moment. Now let's talk about this main event. So for this main event, we do have our 5th out of 6 matches for the Survival of the Fittest qualifier matches. Whoever wins will go on to fight in a 6-way match for the TV title that's been vacated by Samoa Joe. Now, we have Kyle Fletcher versus Gravity, and for whatever reason, I just can't take Gravity gimmicks seriously. Like, no matter how many times I see this dude, I just can't take all that seriously. It's just weird. Kyle Fletcher comes out there. He is decked out in red, and he looks absolutely amazing. I love the whole new look. I love him being part of Don Callis' family, but I need a little bit more from Don Callis' family moving forward. Anyway, they have a really great match. Chemistry is on point, and this is the first time in quite some time that I've seen Kyle Fletcher in a more serious light. He's not into these gimmick matches with the Elite and Chris Jericho and them. He's not in squash matches like we've been seeing lately since he's joined the Don Callis family. He's actually in a one-on-one match where he is in a main event with someone with real great chemistry with him, and they're having an awesome match. And that's what I want to see. These awesome wrestlers having matches, not squash matches, not gimmick matches where we don't really get to see them doing what it is that they do best. And tonight, Kyle Fletcher looked absolutely amazing. Did he win? Obviously. So he's going to be one of the 6 guys who's going to be in that 6-way match for the TV title. Now, next week, we do have another match, the final match. We don't know who those 2 people are at this point. Those 2 people will be going against each other to win a spot to be part of those 6 guys that's going to be in the ring. So far, it looks great. Dalton Castle's in there. I know he's probably the number 1 pick in terms of who fans want to win that match. But if Kyle Fletcher wins this, I'm cool with that. Let Kyle win this. That will be a good win for Don Callis family. And also, we can do something with Takeshita and Hobbs. Takeshita and Hobbs are actually going to be teaming up, I think on Rampage, something like that. Don't quote me on it. Or maybe Collision, I don't know. So if they're going to be a tag team, cool. If Kyle Fletcher has the TV title, cool. These guys are amazing. Let's do some more things with them, Tony Khan. But anyway, the episode was great. Obviously, there are some things here that we could do without. But it's looking like it's going to be a great pay-per-view. We still need a few more matches or so on this. But guys, thanks so much for watching my review. I will be back tomorrow with my review on Rampage. Matter of fact, I will be live streaming for both SmackDown and Rampage. And then after that, I'll do my review on Rampage. So I'll see you guys then. Bye.